anyone that is, on a journey of entrepreneurship, freelancing, or, just being self-employed in some way or another knows that it is not an easy journey. Like, there's so many ups and downs and strange turns and like roadblocks that you never even thought you'd have to encounter when you first started this journey. And sometimes you might try and put up a front and be like, okay, no man, I got this, everything's fine, I'm good. But it doesn't matter how much of a face you put on. Like, if you are not in the right space, in the right framework of mind, like, it will show up in your work, it will show up in your temperament. And these past couple of weeks have been so tough for me. Like, and I was trying to pretend like, no man, everything's okay and I got this. But then it finally got to a point where I was like, there is something absolutely 100% wrong. And if I do not fix this immediately, it is going to like have a detrimental long-term effect on me as an individual, as well as on my work and my business. So I decided to, this past week, just to take a step back and try and reflect on what the hell was going on. And so this video is really all about some of the things that I usually do every time when I'm faced with a tough situation, I'm faced with tough decisions, and I'm faced like just with a mindset that is not congruent to who I am and who I want to be. And I hope you enjoy it and you are able to take something from it and apply it to your life if you are also going through a tough time. The first thing I do whenever I am feeling, stressed out, overworked, and when things just, like I said, when things get tough and I have absolutely no idea like what the next step forward is, like, one of the first things that I do is simply take a step back and simply try and like figure out exactly what it is that I am missing. Like, what is it that is making me feel like, okay, this is getting a little too much for me? What is it about the situation that feels difficult to overcome? What is that whole toughness all about? So that's the first thing I literally do, is just sit myself down and ask myself those type of questions, like, what is going on? Like, what is it that I'm feeling? What is it I'm thinking? Why am I feeling this way? And those why questions are definitely a first step to, figuring out exactly what it is that you need to do in order to overcome those feelings. Something important to note, like, while you are feeling, down and you feel like, everything's just super tough right now, and you're trying to figure out what exactly it is about the situation that, seems difficult to handle, is to, not dwell too much on the negative aspects of what is going on. So it is so easy to, when you're feeling down and out, to dwell on negativity and start thinking negatively. And it is so important to pretty much avoid negative thinking to the best of your abilities, and try to avoid using negative words. So words like, I'm tired, or this is impossible, or something saying, I can't do ABC. So those type of words are definitely not going to help you proactively overcome whatever it is you're going through. One of the things that I struggle with, when I'm going through a tough situation, is voicing my, my feelings. And like, in my head, I know exactly what it is that is making me feel like unhappy about the situation. I know what it is that's making me feel uncomfortable, but I'm unable to express that. And that is something that I have, recently started working on a lot more. Like, in the past, I would just shut down and, and not talk about what it is that I'm unhappy about, and I pretty much sabotage some, relationships, sabotage some possible work possibilities for me. And like I said, like, I know what it is that is not making me happy, but it's so difficult to voice that sometimes. And so, like, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I was about to quit a partnership that I had, building with a friend of mine, and like I was feeling like, okay, what we're doing here is not going the direction that I thought it was going to go, and that was making me super miserable. And I was like about to quit, like just up and quit. And no, so as I'm having this conversation with her, she's like, hey dude, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I could sense that your energy lately has been down, like you're not as passionate about like this project that we're working on. So I totally get what you're saying, and we can fix it, let's fix it. And like it literally just took me talking about it instead of my old habits, which was would have been just to pretty much not talk to her anymore or just like saying, hey dude, I'm busy, I can't do this. Like that would have been like my initial reaction. But like I said, I am working on voicing my opinions. And like just last month, I pretty much lost a client because I was unable to voice my feelings. And like I just felt like, our opinions on how to do marketing were completely different. And, they wanted to have done a certain way. I felt like that was not the right way to do it. We need to do it this way. But I was unable to voice my opinions. And because of that, pretty much unsynchronized working relationship that we had, like it pretty much ended because of that. And so that is like one of the reasons that I felt, okay, I see I cannot continue like losing out on clients and losing pretty much a lot of money simply because I'm not willing to share what it is I'm feeling, because I know exactly what makes me happy and what doesn't. And unfortunately, people will not understand what's going on in my head. People don't understand what's going on in your head. And if you're not able to voice your opinions and voice your feelings when you are going through a tough situation, it is going to make it very difficult for everyone around you and everyone that you are working with to move past whatever obstacles it is that you are facing. Now, something else I do when I am feeling like, just a little down and out is I try and fast for about 3 days. And I tried to fast, I tried to start fasting on Wednesday, and I told myself, okay, I'm going to fast Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then, like, my husband had a guest over, so I had to cook. And I made this amazing creamy beef stroganoff with pasta, and it was just too good for me to like so I just pretty much stopped my fasting right then. I was like, this is way too good to go to waste. My bad. But one thing about me is I never beat myself up for like changing my mind. If I want to fast, I can fast any other day. Again, if I don't want to, I don't want to. And it's really cool. The main purpose of fasting really is to clear your mind. It does help you clear your mind. Like if you do research on fasting, like thorough research, you find that a lot of the things that we eat, like especially sugar, it actually clogs up your mind, for lack of a better term. And when you go on a fast, it helps clear that. So it's something that you should try if you are, in a space where you're able to, not eat and you don't have to cook for anybody and all of that. Like I've been on fasts like previously when, I don't have to like cook much, or like what I'm cooking is nothing special or nothing amazing. So yeah, it is one of those things that I do when I'm going through tough times. Something else that I do when I'm feeling, in that space, I'm just like everything is just not working out, is I tend to meditate. So I don't meditate very often. Like I do it once in a while, like I said, when I'm feeling like, okay, things are not working my way. And I try to just, calm my brain, calm my thoughts. And, it does definitely contribute to you thinking clearer. I probably will create another video on like my meditation strategy, so to speak. But yeah, that is just another one of those things that you can do when things get tough. Just sit down with yourself for about 10 to 20 minutes every single morning, evening, or whenever you've got time, and just listen to your thoughts, listen to your heart. What is it telling you is wrong? What is it telling you that you need to do? And act on those answers that you find from that calm state that you're in, from that state where you're not in panic mode, you're not just trying to pretty much how can I put it, you're not trying to get like a quick answer. You know that this is what's right for you, based on like when you meditate, like your brain waves, so to speak, go into more like a higher level of thinking, a higher level of consciousness. So you know that the answers that you receive from your meditation process are the right answers for you. I got more questions answered. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. Let me get back to this. Alrighty, so I just got off that conference call. So what I've been doing over the past couple of months, I had subscribed to a lights on. I subscribed to an online like virtual mentorship program by Peter Sage. So what I've been doing, so like takes us through like weekly trainings, and once a month, every month, we have this virtual live call where he answers pretty much all of our questions, well, as many questions that he can, in a period of like an hour and 30 minutes. And so today I had my question answered, and I actually had 2 questions today. So the first question, so like they asked us to submit questions like early on this week, and like I said, like I've been feeling like things are just too tough for me right now. And so the 2 questions that I asked was, the first one is, how do you go from that buy me mode and achiever mode to through me mode? So okay, let me just explain that, because I probably wouldn't know much about that. So there are 4 states of being and living. So there is to me, by me, through me, and as me. So to me are people that are all forever in victim mode, like things are happening to me, like they're always like depressed. They're people that they're forever like saying that no, the world is against me, like they're forever negative, they're thinking negatively. And honestly, I've not been in that state of consciousness much. I don't recall, perhaps in varsity maybe, but like for the past couple of years, I felt like I was living in buy me mode, like through like this understanding of what it is. So buy me mode is achiever mode. So you're working your ass off, you like pushing boundaries, you forever like just like working, trying to make as much money as you possibly can, trying to figure out what it is that you need to achieve in life. Like you're forever just like doing things. And then there's through me, which is a more calmer state of being. It is being emotionally wealthy, so, and being happy even when you don't have money in your bank accounts, about living life in that such a way that you understand that the universe is on your side. So opportunities come to you and through you, rather than you having to like call 2,000 people a day type of vibe. And then there's as me, and this is pretty much the state of consciousness that monks live in and people like that. So yeah, so the question was like, how do I get from the buy me mode to through me mode? Because I feel like I am 50% in buy me right now, and another 50% of me is in through me, since I discovered what that was. And like I've been meditating now and then. I've got a wealth mindset. I do believe that opportunities come my way, and I don't like I hardly make like what you call it, like cold calls, for instance, like those type of things, because I understand that opportunities will come to me, and I have seen that manifest in my life. And I just wanted to know, how do I go into that state of consciousness like 24 hours a day? And the answer to that question by Peter was that you pretty much can't unless like you are pretty much not going to achieve what you want in the time that you want. So if you're also going to be sitting in your ass all day and like things are going to come to me, like it's going to be difficult for you to get anything done. So being in buy me mode is good, because that is a mode that gets things done at the end of the day. So you can't just expect the world to answer questions when you're not putting in any sort of work. And he said that you can also use that whole buy me mode as he used the metaphor of a rumble strip. So you know, like when you're traveling on the road, and if you go off course a little bit, there's a little rumble strip, like the little gravelly part where, you know, you start to understand, oh shit, I'm going off course right now. So he says that, you know, you need to use the buy me mode to see when you're going off course on your life's journey, because buy me mode is going to tell you when you're stressed, when you are, you know, overworked, when you're drained, because like then when all those feelings of unsettlement are coming in and you're feeling like tired and you're feeling like everything is just tough right now, that is like pretty much a sign that, hey, you are going off the wrong track, and you know, you pretty much need to calm down again, get into that through me state where you're meditating, where you're taking deep breaths in and out, and pretty much calming your consciousness down. So yeah, that is the first question. The second question that I asked him was, what's the second question? Let me think. Oh yes, so the second question was, how do I know when like those signs from the universe are me self-sabotaging myself, or actual like signs that I am on the right path? Because, you know, sometimes you would think that like your mind makes up like stories to confirm what you want to believe most of the time. So, you know, it's so difficult, you know, at times to understand whether your actions are driven by, you know, the fact that you are, you know, sticking to your identity or the identity that you want to have, or whether you are pretty much making up an excuse and, you know, almost self-sabotaging yourself as a result of that. And, you know, the answer that Peter gave was the fact that, like, when you are, so he made reference to the fact that, again, like the whole calming yourself down. So it says that, you know, there's different conscious levels. So there's beta mode, which is the mode which you are like when you're awake, when you're working, when you're like conscious and you're doing things. And then there's theta mode, which is the mode that you're in when you are sleeping, for instance. And it says that the types of, you know, thinking that you get when you are in beta mode are possibly thinkings that could self-sabotage you, whereas the type of thoughts that you have when you are in theta mode are the thoughts that, you know, are more true to who you are as a person. And he says that, you know, you need to try and get yourself into theta mode. So once again, stress less, do breathing exercises, you know, when you're feeling worked up, and, you know, try meditating a lot more often. And, you know, I am so happy that, you know, he answered these questions in the way that he did, because it pretty much like is in line with what I was doing and what I was planning on doing like for the entire week. So I am super, super happy about that. It sort of confirms that I am on the right path. So I was super like chuffed to hear all of that. And yeah, that is the live call for today. And I hope that you will take some of the learnings that I found from this past week, apply it to your life, stay calm, stay cool, stay collected, and, you know, pretty much know that the world, the universe, God, or whatever you believe in is on your side, and things will work out for you eventually. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, hell, it might not be in the next year even, but, you know, consistency, persistence, all of that, you know, is eventually going to pay off.